Yeah, I rolled in front of a pickup that went by at like 65, and I just
Yeah.
rolled in front of it, and I got to the wall, and then got to the hospital, and I left about, I don't know, 2 hours later, 2.5 hours later, with a brace on my foot and a crutch and a prescription for some pain pills, and that was about it. And I'm telling you, I was absolutely dead meat. And this was the beginning.
At the time of it happening, you had just said it. What come across the road? What the woman described?
No, she just said that control just settled over the whole scene. Just absolute control. No craziness. Nobody slamming on, and everybody was running 65, 70, on that highway that morning, in a big hurry to get down there and slam on their brakes again. And that's where I decided to.
No one stopped their cars?
No, they all stopped. That's the whole thing.
At the same time?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
That's crazy.
And it was just like a Twilight Zone deal. But this was like the beginning of a 2-year epiphany of just one. You would think that I was Carlos Castaneda down there, chewing on the cactus buds. But I'm telling you, some of the stuff that was revealed was just later on in the day or the next day, I found out that what I'm thinking about in the early morning hours out there in California, because I was still on Central Time, so I'm up at like 5:30 or 6. And there's nothing going on. And just following that accident, it was just one revelation after another.
Mm-hmm.
Problems solved in a couple of hours that were totally impossible to solve 2 hours earlier. It was unbelievable. So it's very difficult for me to keep my mouth shut now when it comes to people. Reach out to something higher, and you know what that is. Don't be talked out of it.
Perfect synchronicity.
Well, yeah, it's and even we're Caravan to Midnight. By the way, we appreciate all of our subscribers. They're wonderful people, and they're some of just the best people on earth. They really are. They're compassionate, caring, patriotic people, and they're tired of being lied to. But anyway, I'm kind of all over the place with this, but it's just that. Without faith, they cannot take your faith from you. But if you give it over to them, then they control everything about you. They control your life. You've surrendered your life to them. You really have, and that's what they want to break. They want to break faith. And you can show them all the Nephilim skeletons that you want, but they're not going to acknowledge that these are that which was written of in Holy Scripture. They're not going to say it because they want to deny it. They cannot control a population that has faith. They can't.
Right. Of course.
Right.
There was some 90-year-old woman or 80-year-old woman that the ISIS rolled up and said, "Convert or we will behead you." And she said, "Well."
So, what are most people's faiths then, collectively? Like Christians, for example, what do they think is going to happen? And if it is a very negative scenario, how do we alter that so that doesn't happen and we avoid it?
Well, unfortunately for us, we are at that stage, in my opinion, of human development where we're going to have to go ahead and ride through this because it's already been foretold, it's already been prophesied, it's already been written that this is going to happen. But people should understand that it's not the end of the planet.
Sorry, what if what you were talking about earlier, how we affect our direct surroundings, and if there's another person around you, they will also help to increase or decrease those surroundings based on what their feelings are of the area. Now, what if all of the Christians collectively manifested thought differently right away, and that things could get better? I mean, could things get better then?
Oh, I think undoubtedly they could. In fact, I think it is that collective consciousness, that collective effort of prayer that's kept things at bay as long as it has.
Yeah.
However,
Amen.
there is going to be, the powers of darkness are not going to stop. We cannot stop them. We do not. This battle, and it's written. We're not. The fight that we're in now is not really about flesh and bone and guns and knives. It's spiritual warfare, and we are swayed this way and that way depending on what our spiritual proclivity is. so if you are inclined toward the dark side, then that darkness within a person is going to be amplified. They're going to behave that way. They'll adopt a non-charitable, I'm in it for myself kind of a mentality, where the other side is like, look, the Great One is in control. We just got to ride with it. We got to stay the course. We got to keep our thoughts straight and do everything we can, as well as we can, for as long as we can. That's our duty. Our duty is not to run this whole game. That's being run by the Great One. He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Our part is to just play our part and let it go at that. And don't lose faith that it looks bad, but this too will pass. So for many Christians, it's and, I don't pretend to be able to speak for all of them, but I get the sense that many of them think, it's going to be rough. But the other side of it, however rough it is good, because the forces of darkness, and they are very, very powerful, they're going to be defeated. And then after that, it's written, I don't know, I can't imagine seeing, Jesus, his beard and robe and everything riding up over the hill on a white horse blowing his trumpet.
No, seriously. Yeah. Sorry. Do these dark side that's going to be defeated, are they just going to? Is it going to be a staged defeat or an intentional defeat? Are they going to allow it to happen, or could the dark side be working for the good side on some level, just doing the dirty work?
Well, that's a really good question. That's like Mephistopheles, always working for the force of good while ever scheming ill. In other words, Dad wins no matter what. The dark side is just a component, just a player in this. What this is all about, in my opinion, is it's about us making choices, dreadful, awful choices. Not just, do you want cheese and bacon on that burger or not? Really choices about things that we've never had to confront before as this thing moves forward. I think that we've been in a period of getting ready for the big conflagration. And you say, well, good grief, look what happened to the Jews in World War II, and look at all the destruction all over the place. It's like, that's nothing compared to the destruction that's possible. That's absolutely nothing.
Oh, right,
That's a pot full of popcorn compared to what could happen. That's just a bunch of humans acting like idiots and participating in, legalized murder is all that is.
Right. That's just not even. It'd be exponential. Like 100 times. 100 times worse isn't really accurate. More like 1,000 times worse, compared to 100 times more worse than what we've ever known, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And look what's gathering now. Most Christians believe that I've spoken with, and I don't go around, with my hands, and folded in front of me, being very pious, just going and communing with other Christians. That's not really me. I'm out in the field, just like you guys are, living life. But I keep my Master, my Lord, in mind. Not continuously all day long. Everybody slacks. It's understood you're going to slack. It's understood you're going to screw up. People don't mean to screw up. They just do. Okay. Well, the first thing to do is recognize this and avoid that pride thing. I decided to look up pride one day. I thought, I keep hearing about pride. What is this? So I got into it. And, yes, it is a feeling of satisfaction over a goal you've reached. It is a feeling of contentment over a task you've accomplished. But the one that we have to avoid is the denial or rejection of our utter reliance on God for everything, including your next breath.
John,
if you can get rid of that, you're good.
Continue. Sorry. Okay, John. As far as the pride goes, and you said feeling satisfaction, what if that satisfaction of getting a job done is only based on the relief that you feel like you've lived your purpose? Like, what if the other side of you is it I guess to see yourself as just like a tool, a servant for good, and like that's it, and like this is just a shell, and this is just another dream, and we're gonna win this challenge and move on from it and be done with it.
I think that's exactly it. I think we're in school down here, and I think that you can be sent back over and over and over again until you get it right. And so I just feel that my Father in heaven said, come here, you know, I'm going to show you something. So I crashed the bike. It's like, you understand? It's like, yes, I do. I'm not sure you understand completely. Come on, we're going to the desert for a while. And so I did. I mean, it's I say that allegorically, but it was definitely the desert for a couple of solid years. But I wouldn't have missed him for the world. I mean, I did things and was in situations that I never thought I would be in at this stage of the game and this stage of life. Hey, I could be sitting on a bunch of fat investments that I made that was real sharp and just, ball games and barbecues. That's me. Right. But I wasn't put here to do ball games and barbecues as much as I may enjoy those things.